Over here in the United Kingdom, there's been a real kickback on a very, very serious topic. The one, of course, of the grooming gangs. And if you remember a couple of weeks ago, chums, I brought you footage from inside City Hall, where the current Mayor of London, that's right, of course, Sadiq Khan, claimed from the City Councillor Susan Hall that he didn't really know exactly what she was talking about and kept evading the question time and time again. Well, now, like so many people in his party, he's been forced into a submission. And many people welcome this. But here's where this story gets particularly interesting, in my opinion. As ever, let me explain. Morning, chums. Lovely to see you today. Thank you so much, as ever, for joining me in the very heart of London's King's Cross, home, of course, of Harry Potter and so many more wonderful films, as I've mentioned before. You do feel an atmosphere in these wonderful Victorian railways, don't you? Because you think of everybody that's travelled up and down in various guises. Big dresses, top hats, swinging 60s, 70s, bell-bottom platforms. We've all passed through here at some point on a trip back, or of course a trip out, and it all becomes really exciting. Now, some people might say there's a problem about this particular story, because as I said, it is a problem now for the current British Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer. Forced into submission, and now finally we're going to have an inquiry into the grooming gangs, which has truly escalated. Many people have done sterling work, including this lady, a former police officer, Maggie Oliver, a wonderful lady who's done so much to help so many people. But here's where the gist of it is incredible, right? Because if you remember earlier this year, Sir Keir decided that everybody, every school, should watch a fictional drama called Adolescence, which was screened on Netflix, right? A couple of weeks later, then there was a very, hard-hitting, hard-to-watch documentary all about the grooming gangs, amazingly put together by Channel 4. And they pushed long and hard to make sure that their version could also get shown in schools up and down the United Kingdom. Then all that went incredibly quiet. Well, two things to point out about this grooming gang scandal, right? First and foremost, according to the Deputy British Prime Minister, Angela Rayner, who refused to apologise on behalf of herself and Keir Starmer in the House of Commons yesterday, despite a heavy pushback from the opposition. She said nothing, doesn't want to apologise. Another minister, Jess Phillips, was caught smirking while looking at her phone during a parliamentary debate. That's clearly, some people might suggest, how seriously they're taking this. But here's the other thing. This inquiry now could take at least 4 to 5 years. Now, some people might suggest, of course, that Keir Starmer, along with his band of cohorts, will certainly not be here when this is concluded and consequently kicked into the long grass, as the saying goes. But back to the Channel 4 documentary about grooming gangs. Well, Sir Keir and Angela and the rest of the current British party of the government right now have no plans to force any school to watch this particular documentary. Okay, that's fine, but why the hard push then to watch a fictional drama and invite the cast and of course the creator into 10 Downing Street to push this particular narrative? If you know the story and you know the background and you know the plot, you'll understand exactly why they were so keen to push this ahead. Many people, of course, have no faith or indeed no respect left for Sir Keir, given the fact that a few months back, when pushed about an inquiry, he basically called people far right for demanding it. Now apparently, like so many things he says, he never actually said that at all. Who do you believe, and which documentary would you prefer your children to see? Neil Sean in the very heart of King's Cross, London.